Hello, hello, hello. Hope everybody's having an awesome day. I am excited about doing day number 64. The millionaire mentor that was sharing his insights on yesterday's session, Eric shared just briefly a little bit about where we're at in the 90-day program, day 64. And then he started sharing a little bit about this gentleman and what he's achieved in as to become a millionaire. And he asked him to incorporate, to have an insight of what we're all doing in the 90-day session and how he can help everybody. So I just wanted to share that with you. I'm excited because there's something that he talked about that I think a lot of people are missing when it comes to connecting with people. And it can it's a make or break actually in getting people to look at information. And I've learned this, oh my gosh, so many years ago. I think I've been to 3 live sessions on people doing that, and that's learning the personality traits. So I'm going to share a little bit about that with you. So Eric was talking about where we're at and the March Madness, and to really stay focused. This is our last few weeks. So this is our head down, get shit done, and no excuses. And that's what we all need to do. And so we are day 3 to 9. So if you've been following all the sessions, you know what I'm talking about. And those who are not, go back and listen to the last few sessions so you can get caught up. Don't start from the beginning. You can get caught up, and then you can start over and do another 90-day run with your team by having all of these recorded sessions, which is really, really good. And so number 1 is conversations. You got to be constantly have conversations with people, whether it's you meet them in person, whether you're on your phone connecting with people you know on your phone, whether it's social media, diving into the cold market, which I do a lot of now. And then you get invitations for people to come and look at what you do. Come and check out a link. And lately, I've been, and the goal is always to fill your calendar. Fill your calendar with appointments for people to connect with you. And I find that since, the last couple of years with everything going on, people are missing, obviously, that belly to belly. Some markets are fine now, everything's functioning now, and they're out meeting people again. But some are still a little bit uncomfortable and nervous. So social media is a perfect platform. The Zoom session, everybody should have a Zoom account. Everybody, a free account. You've got 45 minutes or 40 minutes to connect with somebody. And that's all you really need is 40 minutes. And so get a Zoom account if you don't have one already set up. And what I do, and what I've been doing a lot of lately, is my goal is always to make some new connections on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on different platforms. And I'm doing my best to put out regular content so people will comment and I can pull them off the platform to get to know them as well. I go into their profiles and I find something that I like about them. Something that they've done, an event, maybe they had a beautiful picture of their family lately, maybe there's something cute that they did with their dog, or whatever it is. I find something and I compliment them on it. And from that compliment, they always connect with me. They always connect with me. And so it's important to do that. So the moment you add a friend request on Facebook, if that's what you're doing, and go immediately to Messenger and write something, or voice. I like to do voice better. They get to know your personality through your voice and your excitement of the connection. And then once they connect back and say thanks, then you want to say something like, hey, why don't we have a Zoom chat and get to know each other? And so based on their profiles, I'll even say how we can benefit each other. Okay. So, and then I book appointments with people. I get them on the Zoom. I get to know them. We talk about things that are going on. Yes, it might take a little longer sometimes to do it that way. But when you're going into the cold market on social media, it's not easy. Okay, so you need to build relationships, and that's what it's all about. And I tend to build great relationships, and I end up getting them curious about what we're doing. Often I'm pulling out a share screen and showing them products opportunity based on conversation where we're going. So often I can move them into that, and that takes practice, but you can do the same thing. You can do the same thing. Before the pandemic, I wasn't doing all of this stuff. I had to learn, I had to recreate myself. Even as top leaders, you're constantly learning, growing, and recreating yourself. So the goal is always to fill your calendar and spend all of your time he said from the 3rd of March to the 9th, tomorrow's the 9th, we got to be spending all of our time doing it. And if you haven't, continue doing that. Because that's what you need to do to build those relationships, to move them to the exposures. Okay? So that's really what Eric had to talk about, is to speed up your game and stay focused in your game. Okay? So and the assignment is definitely spend all your time doing that. Okay? And that's what, we don't have all the time to do that. I was telling Chris, gosh, it's great to be at leadership levels. One of the big challenges at leadership levels is you're that third party validation, you're doing all kinds of stuff, and you're building teams. It might not be your personal, you personally go out there and connecting to people, but it's personally building your business. So those of you who are leaders that are listening to this, you know what I'm talking about. When you're new, you have all the time to do this. If you don't have an organization, you don't know how lucky you are, because I love doing this part. And this is my favorite part of building relationships and building up people, to create curiosity and engagement and all of that stuff. Okay, so we're going to go right into, his name is Daryl Drake. And I've seen him a few times. And I've seen him a few times on Eric Worre events. And he's pretty good. He's a young guy and ambitious. And he grew up in a rough area, and saw a lot of things, including shootings and stuff like that. It scares you, right? When you're a young person, and it really forces you to want to make some better decisions in life. And he wanted to share his training on what he called Wheel of Fortune. And so the first part of the Wheel of Fortune, he talks about feel. And your environment influences how you feel. And it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. So that's why you gotta find or be around an environment that's going to inspire and empower you to be a better version of yourself. Okay, and that will celebrate and keep you engaged and motivated and all of that stuff. Recently, our group, we're just having fun, trying new things, creating these 15-minute accountability segments, and that has been very successful. And it keeps us accountable. Everybody's positive. Somebody's throwing a new tip on social media that we never knew, so we're adding it to what we're doing, and we're all learning from each other. So it's an environment that makes you feel good. So you want to do more of it. So your environment influences how you feel, and what you are feeling will control what you do. So think about what I just shared with you, and within your organization, can you create something that is a positive environment where people are growing, people are taking massive action, and even if it's a 15-minute segment or a 30-minute, all of our 15s Now everybody's doing 30. And I know that people are doing more after. It's because now they're into the habit of doing it, that they're doing it even when we're not doing those segments. We have a 7 a.m., a 9:30 a.m., a 12 p.m., and a 7 p.m. and some Monday to Friday. And some of them are doing stuff in between. So I think that's so awesome. We just created this great culture around that. And that's what you got to do. All right. So he talked about the 4 different senses, how to use your senses to be in that attraction mode of influence and things you wanted to be around. He talked about, what you see will determine what you'll get. In other words, if you're constantly seeing things that are not serving you, then you'll get more of that. Hearing, if you hear things, same thing. And so he talked about, smell. When you're around an environment that is, he used an example, I think, about money. When you're around an environment that's people are successful, and he talked a lot about cars because guys like the cars, and you're around that environment, you just smell that environment, you just want more of it. And that's what he talked a lot about, when you're around all of this. Touch, if you're into cars. I know when I first started network marketing, I was driving a Dodge Caravan. I was a swimsuit designer. I owned a manufacturing company. I was loading up my vehicle from the suppliers. It worked for me. And coming into network marketing, I was stepping up my game a little bit. So I went and started going into car dealerships. I went to BMWs, I went to Mercedes, and you started to get that feeling. I know what he's talking about because I had that feeling and of wanting something that I never had before. And I'm not saying to go and spend your money and do stuff like that, because you should be smart with your money. But when you're making residual income and it's month after month after month, and you want to do something to reward yourself, that's totally different. I say, after all the experience that we've had, to be smart. But I'm just making an example of what he said. When you go into a car dealership and you sit in the car in the, what do you call it, the showroom, and you take a picture of yourself in it, and you can just imagine driving it, and you got your hands on the steering wheel. So what I did is I took pictures of the vehicle that I knew I wanted to pick up. I had the color already in my head. I picked the date that I was going to pick it up, and I had everything planned in my head and in my emotions. And so it just got me excited. I was in it. I was touching it. I could feel it. All of that drove me to action. So think of the things that are going to drive you into action, and use your senses. Because I remember when he was talking about it yesterday, I'm going, oh my God, he's so right. I remember driving to expensive homes, all gated communities. And I remember with Chris, and we both just sit in the car and dream when we had bad days or whatever. And then, we just start imagining ourselves, driving up the laneway and just, walking into the house and imagining in our heads, that staircase that had that double stairs going up, and all these we were creating all of these things in our mind, what's inside. And we got emotionally attached to the feeling, and we went out and we worked extremely hard. So I kind of expanded a lot on this part because I think it's really, really important, because that's how you attract things into your life. Because it's easy to be discouraged if you're in a situation or a space or a place that you're not inspired in. So you got to do things to get out of that, to get inspired. Even though, I think we got pretty cool offices. I designed everything. I love it here. I got to get out of here. I got to get out and do things. I got to go on the beach. I got to be in an environment that I get inspired, and then I can come back and everything's cool. right? So fine. So he talked about the four senses, and he says change is influenced through inspiration or pain, and that is so true. I was inspired to want something that I didn't have. It was none of that was through pain. It was through inspiration. But some people will get inspired through pain, painful situation, sick and tired of being sick and tired. Boy, I've been there too. When we almost lost everything. So you'll notice that those are the two things that'll drive you. You see something, you're inspired by it. You're in a situation and you're fed up. And sometimes you got to get in that space. Like us, it was $120,000 in debt. And those of you who are Canadians, you know how painful that is. And, you know, because the lifestyle is not cheap living there. And I remember the stress that I had, but that drove me because Max came into our lap, and that drove me to do whatever it takes to get out of our situation. So we went through so many things in our life where we were inspired or we were sick and tired. So either one of them just got us out of our funk. And so that's what you need to do. You need to change. You need to change your environment, change your situation, change this most of all. Okay. And then he talked about learning the 4 P's. And I want you to write those down as well. The 4 P's are personality, which I'm going to expand on a little bit. Some of you know this, and this is part of the learning process of what he talked about. So he talked about the senses, he talked about the change, and then he talked and what inspires you, whether it's pain or influence or inspiration, and then he talked about learning. He spent a lot of time on the learning process, just so you know. Talked about the 4 P's. He only went into one of them, which was personality. Seems like a team PowerPoint that he had, and obviously personality is one of them. Products is the other. I don't think it's a challenge for us to talk about the products, because we all know how amazing our products are. I mean, that's a hands down, that is a given. And if you don't know and you don't have a feeling, it's because you haven't been on them. And you can't promote and get excited about something you haven't tried. So be the product of the product. Get some in your belly. Don't make excuses. If you have no money, go make some money and then consume some of your next order so you can get a feel for it. So products. And then he talked about process, which he didn't expand on. And then he talked about, for me, when I see process, it's a system. It's a systematic process. And then the pay plan. So these are the 4 P's that you really got to spend your time working on. Understanding different personalities, which I'll expand on. Being a product of your product. When you're a product of your product, you're out there passionately talking about it. It's easy to get customers when you're passionate about your products. It's very easy, okay? And it's very easy to get business partners when you're talking about business and you're passionate about it too. Process, system, okay? We have the whole training system. No excuse. You go to max.com, there's a training platform. You go to Team Sites, there's a training system. That's there, laid out for you. And recently, we're all talking about 631, get to your core rank. Okay, so that is a system. It's a strategy, which is part of the system. And then, of course, knowing your pay plan. All right, so let's go into the 4 personality types. And when he explained it, kind of threw me off a bit because I've been to different courses, and some of them use different colors for certain ones. And I'm like, oh, I thought it was this way. But you know what? Everybody's got their thing, and what's important to know is the personality types itself, okay, rather than the colors. But any of you who have done this, you know, you might know what I'm talking about. Okay, so he talks about the personality type of the fiery reds. These are the lions. These are the leaders. These are the go-getters, and nothing's going to stop them. And it's most likely often profit over people. They come into this industry, they learn a lot because it's people, okay? It's people that will drive growth, and that's leveraged income. So they learn a lot coming into our profession, and they're very competitive. They're very demanding. They you know, if they get somebody to do something and it's not done, they'll just go and get it done. They're just going to walk away and just get it done, because we're the type of people who want to get things done. That's why you notice Chris and I are always in the front line. We're always leading. Then people are following. Some people are developing into leadership, and then there's leaders that are just flourishing everywhere because often they have some of this in their personality type, or possibly even a lot. Okay, so these are some of the things. Strong, very strong-willed. If I have one of those days where it's not going well, I'm not gonna take a tantrum, cry, and hide for a week. Okay, I got that personality type of a fiery red, where if things are not going well, I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm gonna come back and back in my game. That's my personality type. Some other people are not like that. They need to dwell on it. They need to, because that's what they're used to doing. They make excuses. They start blaming other people. They're not taking responsibility. But these are all different personality types. And just so you know, these can get better, okay? I remember when I first saw this personality type training, it was years ago, and I think it was Big Al Schreider, and they were using animals, I think, on that one. Anyways, it was so funny. He brought a lot of humor into it, and stories into it, because he had hours to do it. And it was, oh my gosh, he had us in stitches. And he was dead on about the personalities. And he's strong-willed, and they're also purposeful. Okay, so that's the fiery red. I can take a picture of this slide, and I'm going to put it in the group so you guys can grab a hold of this and share that with your groups. And then there's the cool blues. And these are the people that are, you know, they're more cautious. They're more laid back. You might be recognizing this as another color, so don't get confused. I just go through the emotion of the personality type itself. And by the way, a fiery red, if you invite a fiery red to come and look at something, and you want to talk to them about, oh my gosh, we're gonna have so much fun, you're gonna love, you know, certain things because it's your personality type and that's the way you're used to talk. No, go for the gusto, jump right in. And our company's looking for people just like you that have everything it takes. I did a 3-way with somebody today, and I said that exact same to this person. And when she introduced me to him, he was wanting to step back to be a customer. By the time I was done with him, he's on fire. And now he wants to do this simple stuff because he doesn't have a lot of time. That's reds. They're not going to take the time to do the little things. They're going to get other people to do it. Okay? So how you invite people matters. So I hope you're learning something good from this. So the cool blues, the cautious, they're precise, very, very deliberate. They're always questioning different things, and pretty formal, this type of personality. So now you know this. You want to know how to invite somebody like that to have a look at the information. They're going to want stuff. Be prepared. So as you get into conversation and get to know people, you can pick up pretty quickly in the conversation their personality type. Another thing is if you're on social media, and I like to get to know the people before I even get on a Zoom session with them. I'll watch some of their lives, I'll watch some of their reels. I know their personality type, and that's how I approach things when I go into it. But that's experience, you guys. If you're new, you're going, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. Just connect with people and learn a little bit. Pay attention. Listen to them. Okay, you'll find out what they love and what they don't love, and fiery reds are not going to be going out putting a bunch of pictures or videos about their cat or about what else? They're not going to, the flowers, and they don't take time for this stuff. So these are the things you want to pay attention to. So the cool blues, they're cautious. They take time. They need to reflect. They need to ask questions. Be patient. All right? Because you just got to keep moving them along. Keep giving them more information. Because when they make a decision, they're pretty solid. I just want to let you know that. This personality type. Okay, so the earth green. If you're getting some value out of this, throw me some hearts. If you're live on here, throw me some hearts, or if you're just catching this on a recording, maybe just throw something in the comment. But I'd love to get your feedback because I've done these so many times with different animals or colors. So there's the green, caring, very caring. They're gonna take the time to listen, and I'm here for you and all of that. I think I have a little bit of a lot of stuff here. They're very encouraging. They're very encouraging of others. They're always sharing. They're always sharing stuff with people. They're patient. They're relaxed, and that's your green, earth greens. And it's funny because I laugh about this because I'm like this in some cases. But there's other days or other cases I'm not like that. So it depends on the situation. Especially if you're into training, this is a lot of the stuff here, right? So they make great trainers when you think about it. And how do you invite somebody with that personality is to find things about them that you like and share some stuff with them, share a story, be relaxed with them. Don't be, if you have that personality type that you're like, oh, you're all super excited, that might not go well with them. Okay, they might be like, so you gotta learn personalities. Okay, so there's a sunshine yellow, very sociable, super dynamic. The yellow, they're demonstrative. They always show you ways of whatever through stories, through They're always descriptive on that. They're enthusiastic all the time. I have that in me. They're persuasive. I have that in me. So I look at all of this as I'm checking it out, and it's great when you can be a chameleon. And you can connect with all of them. So work on that. If there's things that you want to work on yourself, go through these. Because when you can connect with all 4 personality types, you can easily get people to move and do something. So work on this. Always work on this. I just loved that he did this. I think so many people don't do enough of this. Because that is the feeling, that's the emotion, that's what we do in connecting with people, in building relationships. So it's absolutely massive. He talked a little bit about social media. Oh, he talked also about always learning. I'm going to send the slides over. Always learning. He said he's always reading. He's always listening to podcasts. Depending on the time that he has, or if he's more relaxed, sitting back, he'll read. He talked about videos that he checks out, learns from different videos, and of course, courses. I have to say that in the last 2 years, Chris and I have invested a lot into ourselves in different courses, learning new strategies, hanging out with the millionaire, the mentorship program that Eric has with the top gurus. And we're learning tons of stuff. just listening to each one of them, how they're doing it. And often we realize, oh my gosh, we're already doing this. So this is a good thing. You know, we're on the right track, but hey, let's step up our game in this. Hey, let's recreate this. And so we've been doing a lot of this lately, and you're going to see this. It's coming very soon. So we're super excited about it. Revamping a lot of things. So create new stuff. People get excited. All right, so we talked about social media, you know, spending your time on social media. Make sure you're doing stuff at least 3 times a day on the platforms. Whatever platforms you're on, he said at least 3 times a day. You gotta create momentum in connection with people. So if you want anybody to be attracted to you, the words that you speak, you know, where you're at, you know what I do? I always check my insights on a regular basis. I've got that part of the analytical brain about me. I'm really good with numbers. Got a good memory for stuff like that. And I always analyze insights too, because I'm not going to waste my time. See, that's the fiery red in me. I'm not going to waste my time doing something that's not going to get attraction. Maybe it was a timing that I was posting it. Maybe it was, but I check this out. I check age groups that are checking me out. What else do I do? Yeah, so I check and see what's going on. Do I get better results with posts? My environment. When I'm out near the pool, the water, the beach, I get more people connecting, because people miss that, especially our Canadians that were saying that it was such a cold winter, and with everything going on, you know, a lot of them were stuck in the house. So when they get to see, you know, when the dolphins come up and I'm sitting on the balcony, it's nice that I get to enjoy it. But when I post it, I also get other people to enjoy it and maybe start dreaming that, wow, it'd be great to be able to have a place in Florida too. Actually, you know, my prospects lately, they check my profile. We get on Zoom coffee chats and they go, you know what, I was considering to move into Florida. Tell me all about it. And it's another way of connection, right? So he talked about the learning process, social media, yeah, inspiration, education, and association. Very important. Write that down. Inspiration, whatever inspires you to run with this, you need to be in that environment. Okay? Lifestyle, freedom, whatever it is. Education, you got to get educated every single day. I've been, because I want to be a social media influencer. And I got a ways to go, but I'm getting there. And so I need to educate myself on how things work. So every single day recently, I've been writing it down, and it's been in my book, that what's one thing that I can learn today about TikTok? What's one thing that I haven't done yet that I can learn how to do it? And that's how I'm going to increase my skills, is by making a commitment to take action to learn one more thing. If it's trying different buttons to see what this is, what that is, oh, I'm going to try that one and do that. You know, so you're going to see some, if you're following me, you're going to see some new stuff, because I am learning and growing, and you should be too. So I'm just looking at the time. It's 34 minutes in. So have yourself a fabulous day. Stay focused. Connect with as many people as you can. Now you know the 4 personality types. Put them to a test. Put them to the test. And you'll see you'll get a whole lot better results. All right, so have a great day. Bye.